People do not have to be dead in order for you to break up with them. Welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance, and we're going to talk about how you're going to accept a breakup. Disclaimer, always take what resonates, leave the rest. And of course, there's no right or wrong way to do anything. So always take your time. When it comes to grieving, when it comes to letting go, you have to realize there's no one size fit all. And sometimes what may work for me or you may not work for everyone else. So always take what makes sense to you, including when it comes to myself or anybody telling you things. And that's the first thing that you have to keep in mind. So make sure you guys get your pen and your paper and be ready to take notes. When it comes to you learning how to accept a breakup, the first thing I recommend is that you accept that you were in a relationship. It's okay that you have feelings. Why? Because you're a human being. You have emotions. Some days you may feel good, some days you may feel bad. Sometimes in relationships and connections, they're good, and then sometimes they could be bad. They could be positive or negative. Stop trying to invalidate what you experience. Stop trying to invalidate the circumstances in the situation. Now, of course, if majority of the time it was more negative, it wasn't positive, it wasn't constructive, it wasn't helping you grow, you still have to realize you spent your time, energy, and effort, and it affected you. It affected you psychologically, emotionally, physically, and even financially. And even though in the moment it may seem rough and rocky, there are a lot of valuable ways for you to transmute all those negative situations into positivity. So therefore, moving forward, you're not self-sabotaging yourself or anything or anybody who genuinely is meant to be in alignment with you. So accept how you feel, like accept the goods and the bads. Let me cater to you. Shout out to Destiny's Child, okay? Like, speaking from experience, what I realized, what has helped me along my healing journey was to accept both the good and the bad, because there were valuable lessons. Like, we do not come in contact with certain people, places, and things for no reason. Now, of course, if you're unaware of yourself, if you're unaware of people's intentions, you may struggle with that. But as you grow older and as you experience life, you realize, okay, I met this person because I needed to set boundaries, or I met this person because I needed to be more confident. I met this person because they helped me with a job opportunity. I met this person because whatever it was. So you have to realize that regardless of how we think or how long we're meant to be in certain people's lives and experiences, just being grateful for the opportunity within itself. And of course, this takes time. So that's the second thing. When you are learning to let go, and breakups, like I said, they don't always have to be intimately. It could be with family members, it could be with friends, it could be with people that you're once familiar with. It can even be with yourself, like you're letting go of certain beliefs and mindsets and behaviors. You have to realize that it takes time. Like, if you were in a relationship for a job and you were committed, let's just say for 20, 30, 40 years, that's a lot of time, energy, and effort. Same thing when it comes to your kids, same thing when it comes to your family, same thing when it comes to yourself. Like, when we're used to a way of thinking and a way of living, that's all we know until we're challenged, until we're triggered, until we expand, or until we decide we want more or we're okay with where we are. So you have to realize psychologically, emotionally, physically, and financially, you're going to be traumatized. And trauma doesn't always have to be negative. A lot of people do experience trauma in a negative way. And the reason why I said that, trigger warning, is because the whole purpose of your trauma is to alchemize it and to realize what you had to learn and what you had to stop doing, so therefore you could grow and have healthy relationships and connections. So when you are being separated and you're going no contact and you're removing yourself, or you guys are falling out, learning to stay in your isolation period and not feeling the need or the desire to rush into new connections or relationships until you feel 100% sure of yourself, or even 90%. Anything lower than 90%, I don't recommend. And the reason why is because a lot of times people get into relationships with people, places, and things, and they haven't took the time to heal. They haven't took the time to realize what they liked about themselves, what they didn't like about themselves, what they liked in others, what they didn't like in others, what triggered them, how other people were triggering with them. And you continue on that same baggage and opportunities with certain people, places, and things, and you end up sabotaging them. I personally know from experience, like, it's only a couple of people from my past who were very genuine to me. And because of that, I look at those moments as a self-reflection, and I reflect and I realize, okay, these are the things that I liked in other people versus the experiences where I had negativity with certain people, places, and things. And instead of being angry, instead of internalizing that energy, I've just accepted that I spent my time, energy, and effort. You can't change certain things, and I don't have to regret certain things if I accept why I was meant to be in certain people, places, and things in lives. And a lot of times when you experience betrayal, a lot of times when it's negative, let's be honest, you don't always think like that because you're going through it and you're just so focused on all the bad things that happen. But it's just like, there's duality when it comes to life. There's pros and there's cons, or you could just look at things one way. But over here, if you're going to look at things one way, it needs to be positive. That's what this channel is mainly about. So it's just like, when you're by yourself, grieve. Grieving, like I said, could take years, days, weeks, months. It does not matter. So you don't have to rush your healing process. Some days you may feel sad. Some days you may feel good. It's really important that you're meditating. You guys are booking a service and a session with me, your favorite mental health specialist, okay? You're seeking therapy. You're confiding in peers or somebody that you trust. You're getting guidance, counseling, or you're praying. You're going to the universe. You're going to God, your ancestors, and you're just figuring out who you are and what it is that you want to experience in life, because it doesn't make sense for you to hold on to the pain and suffering from others if that's not who you are. And speaking from experience, you're not going to be able to hold on to it forever. Like, if you're a genuine person, if you meet people and you were good to them, you were kind, you were respectful, you're always going to be that way. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize. Nobody has came into my life to try to humble me or take anything. Like, the negative people, they just let me know how important I am to society, the impact that I do have, just like you, and that I am who I am, and that they're not for me. And I've accepted that. You have to realize that sometimes you may not be for certain people. So instead of trying to force relationships, instead of trying to be upset about what you lost, just accept the fact that you were in these certain situations, you were in these environments. There's a lot for you to learn and apply it moving forward. Like, you don't have to feel stuck and stagnant just because you are grieving or mourning a loss. And people don't have to be dead. Like, there are a lot of people that I have met in the first 25 years of my life, or the first 20 years of my life, where I learned valuable lessons, compared to at 28 ending off my 20s, realizing, okay, where I am now. And same thing with you, like family member, friends. Now, of course, when you're grieving from a death, I'm going to make that into a separate video because I could talk about that. Grieving from a death is a different topic, so I'm going to leave that at that. But just realize that you're allowed to have feelings. And I'm speaking from experience, you guys. These videos are like my past tense, my past experiences, and then of course working with you guys. Like, I've already overcame these things. That's why I make these recommendations. So don't feel like you have to be on the same frequency as me or the same level as me, but just realize if somebody is willing to pour into you or suggest and advise and give you recommendations, apply what needs to be applied, and know that moving forward there's more opportunities. Like, the only way you're not going to have more opportunities is if you stay in your BS. And over here, we don't do that. We're not dwelling. I am not attached to anything. I've never had attachment issues, you guys. I am very opposite. I have always had detachment issues since a child, like super hyperly independent, and I'm working on that. But it's just like, you don't need to be attached to certain things longer than what you need to, because what happens is it messes you up. Like, emotionally, psychologically, you have people who are so attached to people that they end up experiencing heartbreak. And heartbreak is real. I'm not invalidating you, but you have to realize the effects. Like I said, unless it's like from somebody passing away, which is going to be a different topic for a different video, and I've experienced those things too, we have to just accept the time that we had with certain people, places, and things, because you can't go back in time. And over here, we're not here to regret anything. We're not here to wish and be like, oh, I wish I could have. No, because when you start to say you wish you would have did certain things or you regret certain things, you end up having resentment, you end up becoming bitter, and you end up becoming envious. And like I said, you end up blocking opportunities and yourself. So it's just like, cry, yell, scream, and shout, of course, as long as you're not hurting yourself and others. Rest when you need to rest. And most importantly, talk about how you feel. Like, you have to release it. You have to talk about the relationship, whether it was abusive, it was positive, it was short term, it was long term. You have to talk. That's why I make these videos. If you guys are new here, This is my second YouTube channel when it comes to mental health. If you guys are OGs, my first name was Talks with Ty before it was Ty Guidance. That's what we have to do. We have to yap, okay? Be intentional when you yap, of course, because what you put out is what you receive, but you have to yap. And the reason why you have to yap about what you've experienced is because you have PTSD. A lot of people end up having PTSD, OCD, 1, 2, 3, ABD, ADHD, BPD, autistic, like depressed, like, and I know you guys because I'm a naturopathic physician, and like all of these labels, all these attachments, you can heal yourself, you could cure yourself, like, okay? Now if you don't want to, you don't have to, but if you're watching these videos and you made it all the way to the end, you want to. It's not a coincidence. Like, you have to be intentional. Like, the reason why you talk about your trauma is so therefore you can come to an agreement with it that it happened to you, so you're validating it, you're expressing yourself, you're not being silenced, you're communicating, which allows you to release your throat chakras and your blockages, which allows you to speak up for yourself, to have a voice. Like, a lot of people feel silenced, a lot of people felt isolated, a lot of people had not had the opportunity to express themselves or communicate, and that's why I created this channel, because there are a lot of people in the world who don't have the same resources and the same privileges as me. And if you're really wealthy and abundant, I'm not just talking about materialistically and like monetary, you have no problem giving and sharing, and that's what this platform is for you to use your voice, for you to talk about how you feel. You can cry, you could be mad, you could be frustrated, and that's another thing. If you don't talk about the frustration, if you don't talk about the pain, if you don't talk about how things make you feel, you're constantly gonna feel angry, and that's what we don't want, because when you become angry, you become stressed. That's how you get diseases, that's how people get sick. I know personally from experience, like, we want to avoid those things. That's what we want to avoid. So I'm gonna off the video like that. If you guys have questions, comments, and concerns, let me know what you guys want to talk about, and if this video resonated with you, down below. And if you're interested in a service or a session, click the link in my description or in the about section at tyguidancesummer.com. If you're not able to afford a session, that's understandable, okay? Make sure to follow me on all social media platforms. All my social medias will be down in the description box below. I will be going live on Instagram and on TikTok until we reach our goal here on YouTube, which we're reaching, okay? Answering you guys' questions and concerns, and if not, DM me on Instagram or let me know in the community section. But don't feel shy. This is a safe place. Feel free to be vulnerable, because when it comes to you learning how to accept breakups and just healing, you have to be vulnerable. It's no reason for you to be embarrassed. It's no reason for you to be ashamed, excuse me, because everybody goes through things. It's just, as your favorite mental health specialist, who's really your favorite rich auntie, like, I'm very vocal. I've always been this way. Now, of course, I do recommend, when you are being vocal about your feelings, confide in people who you trust. You don't have to come on the internet. You don't have to tell everyone your business. If you do, that's on you. But even when you do, nobody can use information against you. When somebody tries to throw your trauma back onto them, stop talking to them. Those people are weird, okay? But I love you guys. I'm going to go ahead and end off the video because I need to get some hot water, you guys, because I don't know if you guys could tell my voice. This spring weather, I don't know if I have allergies. I've never had allergies before. I don't know, but like, I just need to get my voice together so I can continue to make these videos. But dealing with breakups take time, and most importantly, we don't need to be sad forever, okay? I love you guys. Till next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.